2 of SIA the Podcast, where we explore thoughtful and inspiring approaches to parenting and education. Our mission is to create impactful content that enriches conversations on education, student advocacy, and the challenges faced by parents today. My name is Heather Moore, and I'm the head of school at Strelitz International Academy, and I will be your host. I have over 29 years of experience in the independent school world, with 9 years as a head of school and 20 years serving as an independent school chief financial officer. I also have 2 children, an amazing daughter-in-law, and have been married to my wonderful husband for 32 years. Joining us on today's episode is Rashi Brashovitsky, Director of Judaic Studies at SIA, to introduce the new Let Grow experience that SIA will roll out in the next 2 weeks. Welcome, Rashi. We're so excited to have you here with us and can't wait to hear more about this Let Grow experience.
Thank you, Heather. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really excited to share about this upcoming program.
All right, well, why don't we start by explaining what the Let Grow experience is and, if you can, how it originated.
So the Let Grow experience is created to help our students with social skills and executive functioning, and I can explain more of that shortly. It grew out of noticing that children today, that they're being treated, parents are treating children like they're fragile, like they're not able to accomplish things, and as such, that's starting to be what we see.
Yeah, it's starting to have an impact on the kids,
yes,
right?
Yes, children, if you treat them like they're fragile and unable to do things, they slowly begin to think that they can't do things. Additionally, there's a really high uptick in anxiety and depression in children, and I think research is showing that this is stemming from parents jumping in and doing things for children at all levels all the time.
Right, and this isn't parents' fault. This is the message that the parents are getting from society, from everywhere, telling them that they need to do these things for their kids, that they can't let their kids do these things. So it's not that the parents are doing something intentionally. It's the message in society, and they're doing what they think they're supposed to be doing for their kids.
Yes, absolutely. This is, I think, how we are as a society. It is hard as a parent to allow your child to do things, and it's the culture we live in right now.
Yeah.
Personally, one of my children recently, he's 11, and he told me, I'm not a 5-year-old anymore. And it occurred to me that I too was treating my child like maybe he couldn't do certain things that he really feels that he could.
Yeah. All right, so tell us what some of the core principles are behind the Let Grow experience and why they're important for today's students.
So the core principles are essentially 5 main groups of social skills that when the children go through this growth program, they will work on these things. They will see self-growth. We have self-awareness, being able to learn to succeed, to fail. We have self-management. It's important for a child to learn how to figure things out for themselves, to organize their thoughts. When a parent is jumping in, it's hard for a student or a child to organize their thoughts and learn, what they're doing. Social awareness, to be aware of themselves within a group.
That's important.
Yes, relating with other children, with their parents, with teachers, other adults in the community. Again, if we're doing things for our children, they're not learning how to have this awareness of who they are in the community. Relationship skills, again, learning how to work with one another. What do I do when I want something and it doesn't go my way? What if I want to play with someone and they don't want to play with me? These are really important skills for children. And the last one being responsible decision-making. Again, this is really important for children to learn to own their decision and to figure out the decision-making process. And the last bit that the Let Grow program brings to our students is helping them with their executive functioning skills. To name a few, learning to plan, to organize, to begin a task on their own, to be flexible, self-control, perseverance, time management, all skills that our students need to learn as they grow older.
Yeah, as they grow and develop, these are all very, very important skills. I'm excited that we're bringing this program to our school so that our kids will have this opportunity. How do schools typically implement the Let Grow experience? Can you kind of walk us through what that process would be like?
Sure. So essentially, every month there'll be a new theme. And for September, our theme is going out of your comfort zone.
Okay.
So it's helping our students like stretch their mind to do something that maybe doesn't feel so comfortable for them. And what will happen is in our school, I will be visiting each of our classrooms for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
During the second week of each month, we will talk about independence. We will talk about the upcoming theme. We will discuss projects that perhaps students might like to do.
Okay.
And then this goes home. It's like a family homework.
Family homework.
Family homework. And the student will pick their project or there's something that they would like to do on their own without their parents helping them. They will pick it together with their parents.
Okay.
Of course, they will need permission from their parents. You know, if a child wants to do something that's way out there and it's not really safe for them yet, it's a great opportunity for the parents to have a conversation about, you know, what skills do you need to be able to do this? When do you think you'll be ready? So the idea here is that at home, with the foundation starting in school, but at home, they'll pick something, plan it, organize it, and then, of course, implement it. And then about 4 weeks later, in the classrooms, the students will share what they've done and also complete a reflection piece.
Okay.
And then we will display the students' projects. We will highlight some projects. And as the year goes, we'll be able to see the different types of growth that we've had in our student body.
Is there any way you could give me some examples of a Let Grow project that a student might pick, just so our listeners out there kind of have an idea maybe of what we're talking about?
Sure. There are all kinds of different things out there. I've personally, in researching the program, I've seen a parent that allowed their child to give them a haircut.
Oh, my goodness.
I've seen children filling, you know, their parents' car with gas.
Oh.
Also at the younger level, just making their own lunch, you know, just small little things. Personally, for me, this is very important. I like to say that I noticed that I was doing things for my children, you know, probably past an age that I should have been. And recently, my 11-year-old was in summer camp. Mm-hmm. And he called me after the very first Shabbat and told me that there's no food for him to eat. And I said,
no food.
listen,
Okay.
Don't they serve chicken on Friday night? And he said, yes, Mommy, they do. But there's nobody to cut the chicken for me. And for a moment, I just went, whoops, I've been cutting his chicken, and now he does not know what to do. Fortunately, happy ending. 2 weeks later, he called me back and said that he cut his own chicken and recently asked if we could have chicken for dinner so he can demonstrate his new chicken cutting skills.
So he was proud of it,
He
which
was
is
very,
great.
very proud of it. Yeah. So I personally at home, since I've spoken with you, Heather, about, you know, the launch of this program,
Yeah.
I'm trying to say yes a lot more in my house, handed over the tongs to the grill recently, just trying to allow my own child to grow and learn to do things on his own. So I'm very excited to see what our students are
And so
going
you're
to do.
already demonstrating that it builds self-confidence.
100%. And the more that I allow him to do, the more that he wants to do.
Interesting.
So he's really loving getting to do more things.
That's a great testimony for the program right there, actually.
Yes. 100%.
What role do teachers and administrators play? Like, how would the classroom teacher be involved?
So the classroom teacher will be involved in the introductory conversation each month.
Okay.
About the upcoming theme, about the different topics that we'll be discussing and how to, you know, create the projects, the processes that the students need to go through. And at the end of the month, the teachers are closing the conversation. They're closing that circle and helping them with the reflection piece
Okay.
and celebrating the students' achievements.
I'm excited to hear what the students do, and I bet you they're going to be so excited to hear what their classmates do.
Yes, for
You know,
sure.
it'll
And
be
then
so interesting.
I'm sure like hearing each other will give each other ideas of what they might like to try next.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How do you think the Let Grow experience aligns with the IB philosophy? Even though Let Grow is not an educational philosophy, but how in your opinion do you feel like it aligns with our IB program here at school?
Okay, so the IB program, number one, has the 10 learner profile
Right.
attributes. They fully fall in line with all of these, social skills that we're trying to teach children. They need to be mindful and communicative and open-minded and lots of different IB learner profiles.
And a risk taker.
And a risk taker, yes. Absolutely a risk taker in order to succeed in this program. Additionally, as an inquiry-based program, the Let Grow program allows the students to explore what they're interested in trying and to see where it takes them.
Yeah, and it lets them have their own agency. So
Definitely.
that'll be really interesting. Okay, impact on students. So how does the Let Grow experience encourage independence and resilience in students, do you think?
I think just being given the opportunity to try something on their own as parents, we're very, sometimes it's just easier to do something for our child. Sometimes we're scared that something will happen to them, or we think, it's this like fragile state of being. Mm-hmm. I think the more we trust the child and allow them to plan it, to think about what might be hard, to figure out some solutions, the more we, set a child up with this, they're building those skills. And I think it's going to turn out more resilient and balanced
Yeah, that
children
actually makes
for
sense.
the future. They're going to try something. It's not always going to work.
Right, and that's okay.
And that's okay. They can learn, what didn't work. Well, let me try again now. Oh, what went wrong? What can I do better next time? Or what can I try next time? I think we're like helping the kids learn to, fail a little, succeed, celebrate success. And I think that builds resilience.
Yeah. I mean, I still remember to this day the first time I baked a cake and left out a crucial ingredient. And so it did not rise at
Happens
all.
to everybody.
And it was pretty unusual looking cake, but we still ate it. It still tasted okay. It just didn't look so good. So
I think
it was a
that's
good
I
experience.
think that's the hardest part here is actually not so much for the children, but for the parents.
Yeah.
We're so focused on having things turn out the right way, and we're always in a hurry. We don't always have time for trial and error. So I think this will be a good learning experience for
There's
children.
a lot of learning and trial and error,
parents. Yes.
And so that leads me to my next question, and that is, what role do parents play in the Let Grow experience?
So
Probably the most crucial role, really.
yes. So the parents are the ones that are going to help the students when they're planning their project. Of course, as a parent sets their own safety guidelines and whatnot. But the main thing for the parent is, as the program says, is step back to let grow. A parent at some point has to take the back seat and let their child try their project. It might work, it might not. The parent's job is to celebrate the student, to be the cheerleader for the student. And I think that's the role of the parent.
Is there a right or wrong in these projects from
No.
your perspective?
Absolutely not. I think whatever each student and their family is willing to try, I think it might be baby steps in the beginning,
Yeah.
and that's okay. I think the idea is that we're just trying things and that we keep trying to build on the success.
Will these Let Grow projects be graded?
They will not be graded.
That's right.
They will just be celebrated and displayed. A student may try something and it may not work, and that is okay. At least they tried it, and now they'll try something new next time.
So this isn't like a science fair project that's going to catapult your child into the next academic arena. This is really just letting them do something on their own and learn from it.
Yes, I think it should not be stressful.
Right.
It should just be something a student wants to do, something a parent is
Okay
willing
with, yeah.
and okay with their child, trying. And at that point, we're just looking for participation, and then we see where it goes from there.
All right. So how do you think the Let Grow experience addresses parental concerns about safety or overprotection?
This is a really good question, especially from one of those moms that really likes to make sure her children are safe at all times, like most moms.
Yes, absolutely.
It's a tricky one. In our society, there's a culture of watch your children all the time. There's bad guys out there. And the Let Grow program is here to help us understand that most people inherently are fine and good and kind, and that it's okay to let our children spread their wings a little.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to, take into account your child's age, ability, where you live. And you can also help your child as they prepare to understand how to do what they're doing
Okay.
safely.
Okay, that makes total sense. I mean, like if you're going to bake a cake, maybe you want to go over it with your mom or dad before you start doing it. And
Absolutely.
that, could help alleviate safety concerns.
Yes.
With using the oven. So, makes sense. Okay, so how is the Let Grow experience adapted to different age groups or school environments?
So it's going to look different. We're doing it from kindergarten all the way through 5th grade.
Okay.
So I think, in the younger grades, the projects are going to be more simple.
Right.
And then as
Like
the
make your
kids
bed,
make your bed, make your lunch, pack your backpack, these kinds of things, learn to make a sandwich.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that, a younger kindergartner can do. And then as we go through the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, I would like to think that when we get to the 5th grade, we have more complex skills, possibly walking somewhere on their own, or cooking something, or baking something, or trying something around the house or outside with maintenance of, lawn care, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And the conversations in the classrooms will also be age appropriate.
Right.
And help the children to think, about what's appropriate at their age level.
Okay. All right. I like that. So how about some broader implications? In what ways do you think the Let Grow experience prepares students for life beyond school, which is really the point?
I think it's teaching them the skills they need as grown-ups. They're going to learn to manage their time. They're going to learn to plan, figure out what they need to do when they need to do something. They're going to figure out, they're going to have those relationship skills that they will need as they go to college and build families and get jobs. All of these skills together, they're going to be what helps a student flourish as they become adults. And I would also like to hope that we will see, a reduction in anxiety and depression, maybe a boost in self-confidence as students learn that they can do things and take those skills as they grow older.
That they are capable, that they can
they can do things.
Do things all on their own and be proud of it. I mean, to me, that would be a wonderful conclusion of a project like this, I think.
Absolutely.
So in your closing thoughts, if there's one thing that you want our listeners to take away from this conversation about the Let Grow experience, what would it be?
It would be that as a parent, yes, it's hard to watch our children try new things or do things we have done for them, but that it's important for us as parents to step back to let our children grow into the best version of themselves.
I love that. All right. Well, that's wonderful, Rashi. Thank you so much for sharing, all of that about the Let Grow project. I'm really looking forward to seeing what our SIA students do with this experience as we move throughout the school year. When are we starting this project?
So we are kicking this off next week. So in our classrooms, the first visits will take place on Tuesday, September 10th. And then different classes will launch on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay, so this will be so exciting. So in October, we will see some of our very first Let Grow experiences. I'm excited about that. I cannot wait to see what the kids are going to do. And I'm excited to join you in the classrooms as you roll this program out, because I just want to see what the kids think of it and feel that enthusiasm that I'm hoping that they will feel, especially probably after they do the first one. They're going to come back pretty excited is what I would imagine. All right. Well, I thank you so much for joining us today on the podcast. For our listeners out there, please give us your feedback on our podcast. If you found value in today's episode, we hope that you will subscribe, share, and follow us. You can also visit the Strelitz International Academy website for more information about this episode, as well as resources and tips. And please remember that it takes a whole community to build a strong foundation for our children to grow and develop. On behalf of SIA, thank you for joining us today, and thank you for your partnership.